And we are back. Welcome back one more time. And happy new month to everybody. This is Monday Blitz. I am Katela Macy. And before I introduce my people live, let me remind you of the question of the day. Should Arteta remain as Arsenal's manager if he fails to win the English Premier League this season? Our WhatsApp number 0793267279. And of course, let's interact on our Facebook page, TV47. Also on X. Drop in your comments and let's hear what you have to say about Arsenal. Now, I want to introduce my very good friend. And this morning, Arocho, I want to say hi to you in high five. Give me a high five. High five, Fred Arocho. Welcome.
Thank you.
Uko mzima?
Niko sawa.
Take five.
You know, many people thought
take five.
Many people thought that I won't appear. I'm a sportsman. We lost 5-0. No. We lost 5-1. But we are still one and only Tory Bobby.
Yes. You're good, Lakiri?
Niko sawa.
Afu sawa. And of course, the beautiful Miss Annette Washira, Citizens Die Hard. Karibu sana, Annette.
Asante.
You're looking so good.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
And of course, Lawrence Omosh, One Iowa. Welcome, Lawrence Omondi.
Thank you.
Kwa wazima?
Niko mzima.
The weekend has been busy, by the way, very busy with action. Arsenal won, Manchester United won. I don't know what's happening at Tottenham Hotspur. Mikel Arteta, they are Chelsea. I don't know what's happening. But let's start off with Arsenal. Papa Fred Arocho. They beat Chelsea yesterday 2-1. Chelsea, 10-man Chelsea. And what's your take on this? Chelsea had a red card. They won 2-1. Very slight win for Arsenal.
I was not surprised that Arsenal won against Chelsea. Chelsea has been quite inconsistent whenever they play Arsenal. Look at the fact that before the match, 3 straight matches, Arsenal had won. But looking on the flip side, I don't think Arteta was happy about his performance. Yes, he might have been happy about the results, but Arsenal did not perform well on the pitch. But the ultimate goal is the win. But that's a description of a potential champion. You might not play well, but you get your points. And that's precisely what happened in London yesterday. And it indicates that Arsenal is a true contender. Look at the matches. They're moving, they're narrowing into the last 10 or 15 minutes. Look at the way Man City played against Leeds. They really struggled, if you asked me, but they got their points. So once again, kudos to Arsenal. Congratulations. And I believe that Arsenal is going to have the same performance against Brighton. It's not going to be easy, but I'm expecting Arsenal to continue getting 3 points. I think it's 9 or so matches to go. Yeah. They have to push it, but I like the fact that this league is going to the wire. It's not a league, if you ask me, when one team wins 3, 4, 5 matches before the end of the season. So it's going to the wire, and I still believe that there's competition in this league.
To Annette Washira, yesterday, did you think that Arsenal would beat Chelsea? Because for me, I thought it would be a draw.
Before the match, I was very sure Arsenal were going to beat Chelsea. But during the match, I saw Liam Rosina replace some of the players that I thought were key. Look at Cucurella. Cucurella was not in the match. We all thought Saka had to dominate on that side. But we saw her to come in and her to completely... We didn't see Saka in that game. Ni kama alipotea. Another change that we saw is Fofana was red-carded. So he brought in Sa and Chaloba were impenetrable uko nyuma. So they played very good football. During the match, I thought, okay, this can go anywhere. They are both good teams. But after the red card, I think it changed dynamics your game. Once Neto was red-carded, the whole dynamic changed. So what happened is Arsenal took advantage, although bado wako very shaky. But as I said, leagues are not won by good teams. Leagues are won by teams that take advantage. And currently, Arsenal are taking advantage of the fact that PSG, Man City were not as good. So if they're able to take it down to the wire until the last match, even if Arsenal win all their matches, then I think Arocha said the next 9 matches. That's it. Man City, we just lose one, we're out of the title race. So if Arsenal are able to take advantage, whether or not it was a scrappy win, whether or not they won with a red card, the importance is a win is a win. And that's what they did. And that's what they've been doing the entire season. So if they keep it up, they'll win the league. One small mistake, they're out.
To you, Lawrence Omondi.
I think it's a very tight race. It's that moment whereby as a team, Arsenal or Man City, you just have to win all your matches, no matter which team you're facing. So it was a good play for Arsenal. I think they approached the match very positively with the pressure coming from Man City. So they know that they have 9 games still remaining for them to win the title, and Man City has 10 games. So any mistake they do, they know Man City knows how to handle such kind of situation, because they've been there before. And I'm very sure when Man City leads, Arsenal will not get time to come back again. For it's 6 years they've been doing the same thing.
Still on the English Premier League, talking about Man City, they won 1-0 against Leeds United, of which I myself thought maybe watapigwa like 5 vile another team was done yesterday. But I'm not sure you're looking at me with those eyes. Uko poa?
Oh, yeah, you're just a wishful thinker. You wish while you think. I like the way Leeds played. They didn't sit back and soak pressure from Man City. They were out going, trying to make sure that they also press. And that's why the pressure was on Man City. As I said earlier, the next 4 matches are going to be very critical. More so the last 15 minutes. You saw Leeds coming out very strong towards the end of that match. And Man City, with the lack of a better word, were portrayed like a kawaida team. We are not seeing the Man City that we are used to. And this is a description of a good league. A league that is one-sided, like the German league. You see Bayern Munich dominating year in, year out, and basically they don't have any kind of competition. But in the English Premier League, you're seeing teams coming up. Yes, they picked the 3 points, but I'm also sure that if the Man City coach is given an opportunity to retake that match, he'll be very, very uncomfortable to take a rematch, because you saw even the way he celebrated once the game was over. But all said and done, I think more is coming our way in terms of entertainment in the next 4 matches. And I believe that Arsenal is going to push, Man City is going to push, even as Manchester United. I was so impressed now that United are number 3. But also on the flip side, you'll see, someone might argue that, look at the fact that Manchester United about 2-3 months ago were lying away from the top 10. But now with 5 matches, 5 wins and 1 draw, they're back in contention if you're a Manchester United fan. So this, for me, describes this league. And this is what our league is all about.
Well, before I come to you, Miss Annette Wachira, let's have a look at the previous 10 matches that were played. Arsenal and Man City, you can see back in season 2021-2022. You can have a look at the screen right there. Arsenal, Arteta and Pep Guardiola. And 2024-2025 season, ndio ilikuwa stima kabisa. You can see the last 10 matches that were there. Difference of 5 points I can see. But now, let me come back to you, Miss Annette Wachira, you as a Man City fan.
Yes.
What was your take when Manchester beat only Leeds United 1-0?
We have been struggling. The reality is Man City have been struggling this season. We haven't been at our best. As Arocho said, Manchester United came from 13th all the way to 3rd, meaning there's not been so much pressure in the top 4, in the top 3. Let me talk about the top 3. Aston Villa were in the top 3 for, 4-5 weeks? So it has not been as, in the top 3, the only competition has been between Man City and Arsenal. And maybe at some point Aston Villa put some pressure, but it has not been as bad. Man City, we've not been doing so well. In the second half, we've been conceding so many goals. In this match against Leeds, Leeds was a better team. They outplayed us, they outmanned us. In terms of defense, they were pressing really high. They even gave our goalkeeper pressure. Donnarumma was under pressure all the time. Our defensive lineup, I think in that game we had more defensive blocks than shots on target, because Leeds were really pushing. You see, as it comes to the end of the season, the bottom 4 teams, look at what Wolves is doing. They're making sure that everybody suffers. Yes, they are going, but everybody must suffer. And it's the same thing with the Leeds. So they really pushed that game. The only thing, Sasa, for us, we signed Gehi. So Gehi is going up. He's making tackles. His combination with Diaz is working. And the only thing that helped us, Pia, for set pieces, Leeds could not go up in the box because we had height. And then Semenyo scored. So once we scored, what Pep did is Aluambesa contain. So we contained the game. And as I have said, leagues are not won by good teams. They're won by teams that take advantage. And in that game, we scored our goal and we took advantage. That's it.
Do you, Loris?
I think...
Do you agree with Annette or Arucho?
No, I have my own view. I think football is a game of less mistake. Once you make more mistake, you get punished. And I think Man City just got a mistake and took advantage of a mistake that Leeds made. But in terms of defending, they are really good in terms of defending, because in football we say striker will score you goals, but defender will win you trophy. So in this case, I think Man City defenders stood really high and they really defended well. So it was a game that Leeds could have won easily, but the defense was very good in terms of Man City trying to keep the lead and knowing that they have to keep up with the Arsenal race. So it was a show.
All right, still on the English Premier League, let's talk about the coach of the month. Let's talk about Carrick football. Manchester United, yesterday, they beat Crystal Palace 2-1. I was with Rachel in studio. And during the first half, Crystal Palace were really good the first few minutes before. Manchester had a lot of missed passes yesterday, but come halftime, Carrick ran into the changing room and he made changes and we got a win in the second half. Arocho, to you, let's talk about Carrick and Manchester United win yesterday.
Well, I think he didn't get it right. I'm sure some will not agree, many will not agree with me, but I think in his lineup he got it wrong yesterday. When he brought Mbom on the right initially, things were not working. Zesco in that striking force, yes, he scored a goal, but he's not that. He doesn't give a lot of options for his midfielders. So I think Zesco should just be coming in, banging goals towards the end of the game. I like the way Kobe Mainoo played in that midfield. He was quite vibrant, giving a lot of assistance to Bruno Fernandes. The defense, I also saw something that has been happening at United, and I've never really known what these coaches are trying to do. When you bring out Maguire in the last 10 or so minutes, what are you trying to do? I think I come from the old school of thought where you don't change a winning side. I don't know what he was trying to do towards the last, and that was Amorim's main undoing. You could see that Amorim used to make some substitutions, which instead of giving a lot of strength into the bringing in a lot of strength into the team, it could deflate the team. So yesterday I felt that the coach was just about to make a mistake when he brought out Maguire and brought in that young man called Heaven. But the win was quite vital. It was quite important for United to keep that pace, to keep the momentum on. And I feel so bad for Aston Villa. It's a team that has shown a lot of resilience through the season. But in the last 6 matches, I think it's one of the teams that has dropped a lot of points. They lost against Everton. The other day, they lost against Wolves, which was unprecedented. So for me, United is just getting into the top 4 simply because of lack of competition, if you ask me. United and the City and Arsenal are up there because of lack of that very strong opposition. If Liverpool was strong, then I'm sure somebody could have been pushed away from that position. So once again, Arsenal might win this league, not because they're that good, it's because of the kind of opposition that is coming their way. City might be number 2, but not because they're that good, but it's simply because there's no very good pressure coming from below.
Do you want to share? Let's talk about Carrick's magic at Old Trafford.
Yesterday I was saying, we had Sisi kama City fans and Arsenal fans. We had generational hate watch for Manchester United. There's a time when he was 14th, yani walikuwa to BAMBA. They would lose, they would win 1 match in a month. But that has changed now. I mean, they've gone 7 matches unbeaten.
Unbeaten since Boxing Day.
Yeah, since Boxing. And like, they're playing good football. Like Carrick has enabled the players to play. Look at Casemiro. Casemiro last season was one of my biggest. I hated the way he played. He was losing a lot of balls in defense. This season, he's the solid man for Carrick. Look at how Kobe Mainoo fit into the squad. Zesco scores every game. Mbeumo and Cunha, the connection, it's wameanza sasa kupata hiyo chemistry. Look at Bruno Fernandes. Amorim used to tell Bruno Fernandes that he plays 8. Look at him now shining as a 10. In the defense, Harry Maguire is doing the like you can't hate them. Lamens is saving. Crystal Palace had this one shot that destabilize the whole team. Lamens amekuwa I mean, if he was given a chance, he would have been competing with Raya on clean sheets. So I think for Manchester United, it's unfortunate waliamka late. Otherwise, they would have been in this title race easily. I mean, out of I think the top 4 teams, they are the ones who picked up the most wins. Hata wametushinda. So for Carrick, I think what he's done is he's given his players freedom of expression. And yesterday, I don't believe that they made a mistake. The problem with Manchester United, they don't have enough games to experiment with. They're out of the FA Cup. They're out of the EPL. So there's nothing. They don't have any other games to test out lineups. So for them testing out the lineup yesterday with Crystal Palace, yes, it was a gamble. Yes, maybe Carrick aliona haiku work or whatnot. But it worked in his favor because when it didn't work, he knew what to change. Yeah. But I still believe Sesko is a super sub. And I don't believe he's a starter because how Manchester United play, they don't play a lot of penetrative passes. They do a lot of, they rely a lot on their wings. And I've not seen Sesko perform so well in the first half of the games. So, acha tuone Amorim Carrick atafanya nini. Nimepole.
Don't take us back. Lawrence Omondi, take on Manchester United.
I think Manchester United really started bad. Just like Arocha said, their approach was not that good compared to the previous matches they have played. And the best thing is Carrick knew what was wrong and he came back and corrected the team. So Manchester United has been doing well since Boxing Day. I think it's now, we are in March, so that's more than 3 months right now. So it's a good run for Manchester United. This is something that we've been missing for a very long time as Manchester United fan. So right now we can say at least next season will be better one because we'll having more competition to test the kind of players we have. We'll see how well they can do, how best they can perform in big leagues like Champions League because I'm 100% sure we are going to qualify.
As we finish up on the English Premier League, what's happening at Tottenham? They are currently at number 16. Fulham beat them yesterday 2-1. Arocho, I can
the most inconsistent team in the league.
And you know they're in the Champions League.
Yes. Arocho, what's your take on
the round of 16?
Tottenham is a team that has changed everything. They've changed their pitch, brought in a new stadium. Yeah. They've brought in several new coaches. They brought in new players. So I cannot really place my finger on one particular reason why Tottenham is not doing well. But I think it's just their mental kind of preparedness moving into their match. They're still having a lot of matches. I'll pick from what Washira has talked about, that Manchester United are having very few matches because they are not participating in the FA Cup. They lost in the Carling Cup. But that should be a positive and a negative in one word. Being a positive because now you have a lot of time to rest, to recoup and have your strength ready for the next match. But it can also be a disadvantage because of the consistency. Because the more matches you play, the better you become. So you can look at it from the two angles. But Tottenham are not taking advantage of the fact that they're still playing in several tournaments. I still, once again, I want to say, I cannot put my finger on where their problem is. Initially, I thought it was the coaching staff. They have brought in several coaches in the last 3 or so seasons, but they're still flip-flopping. The only match I saw them playing so well was against United. They brought in their best game on that day, but ultimately, they lost.
All right, thank you so much, Fred Arocho. Now, just a reminder before I come to you, Annette Washira and Lawrence, a polite reminder of the question of the day. Should Arteta remain at Arsenal if they fail to win EPL this season? Let's interact. 0793-267-279 as the WhatsApp number. Instagram, TV47 Kenya, X TV47 Digital, and Facebook at TV47 Kenya. Let's see some of the feedback from Facebook. Keeps Arab 2, he said, Akwende, if he fails to, he's been given enough time and resource he required. That keeps Arab 2. On Facebook, still on Facebook, Naftali Njogu. Oh, good question. If he fails this season, he chased away or cater medical bills for all Arsenal fans who will develop blood pressure conditions. That's on Facebook. Still on Facebook at TV47 Kenya. If Arteta and Arsenal fail to win the EPL, they should be relegated immediately to Championship ili washinde huko ndio warudi EPL wakiwa tayari kuinua taji. That's Jeff. Still on Facebook, Sammy Greatness anasema, yeah, next season is loading. I don't know why some people still don't believe that Arsenal will win, might win. Actually, they have a big possibility of winning this season. Now, to Miss Aneta Share, let's talk about Tottenham and Fulham yesterday. Tottenham wanaenda wapi? Shida iko wapi? You, because Arocho ameshindwa kabisa.
Hata mimi sielewangi. Because Tottenham last season were competing with Manchester United at the bottom. And something we thought is, oh, maybe it's just a season. Because here's the position now. And they went on to win the Europa, went on to play the Champions League. Surprisingly, do you know they qualified for the Champions League ahead of the likes of Kina Inter, ahead of Real Madrid, who went off to the playoffs. So for Tottenham, I don't understand. Asiwaelewi. Unaenda Europe, you beat the baddest in Europe, and then you come to English Premier League and you're just there. I don't get them. I know a lot of their problems have stemmed from injury issues. Also, they changed their coaches. Richarlison was injured, so Solanke was out for a big part of the season. And so I think maybe for them, they also had a lot of defender issues. I think for them, one of their issues has been inconsistency in the squad. And when you have inconsistency in the squad, you don't really get results. And they're playing in two very heavy competitions. I mean, next week, I think 10th, they're going to play the Champions League. Yeah. They have an inadequate squad. They're battling relegation on this side. I watched them play, I think, against Tottenham, against Arsenal. Hakuna kitu. They're not playing football. Like, the defense is bad. In attack, they rely solely on Richarlison and Kolomwani. There's nothing. So I think for Tottenham next season, they really need, either they go into the market and buy some good players, or invest in their youth teams and bring some good players that they can feed into the team when they have injury issues. Or even, I don't know, change the coach again. It's not working, because I don't see a situation where Tottenham get relegated, no, but they'll still finish in that 14th, 15th position. And now, in terms of cups, hakuna shortcut tena ya kwenda champion. I don't see them winning the Champions League. So hakuna shortcut. So, it's bad for them.
Yeah, I think Tottenham just need to do what Manchester United did this season. They just have to be in less competition, build up the team that they really need to focus for the next season. Because right now they're really struggling a lot, and they're in the Champions League and they're not playing like champions. So that's a big war for, like a big negative thing for them. So they need just to focus on building a team that will focus for next season. Because right now they have no team.
Oh, thank you so much. Let's move on to the UEFA Champions League round of 16. Aneta po umetingiza kichwa haraka sana. Why?
Oh, you guys are not in the Champions League. Ni mimi tu.
Ni wewe tu ndio Champions League hapa, but iko tu sawa. Let's have a look at Champions League round of 16. Manze, inakimbia sana. We see Arsenal na Joe wanaongoza hapo juu. They are also wishing and praying to win the UEFA Champions League. I can see Newcastle are facing Barcelona. That's a very interesting match. Atletico Madrid are also facing Tottenham Hotspur. Aneta ameongelea sahi, of which I believe she knows hawatasonga mbele. Si ndio?
Wanaweza pull surprise hapo, but after, like, they won't get further than that.
One of the most interesting match, not CP versus Bayern Leverkusen versus Arsenal. That's another interesting match. Tugusie kidogo Arocho about Champions League. You can see PSG are facing Chelsea, the Chelsea that we saw yesterday, Galatasaray, Liverpool. It's very interesting actually, and one of the best match I can see, Real Madrid versus Manchester City. Easy games, they're very interesting.
Your computer, natakanga tu Real Madrid, Man City. And you know the worst part, in the past, I think, past few seasons.
Yeah.
Every time we face them, they beat us. It's so unfair. So and then Arsenal wamepewa Leverkusen. Alafu wakimaliza Leverkusen wamepewa Sporting, wamaliza na Sporting wanapewa, I think the next draw ni the top two teams, I can't remember. But they have such an easy route to the final. I can't believe it.
Champions League is very interesting. Arocho, to you, turns an era of
me, I think my main, the biggest surprise so far is Bodo Glimt. This is a team that has beaten anybody who comes their way. They beat Man City. And initially, when they won against Man City, many thought that this was a fluke. Look at the way they dismantled Inter. For me, that was a statement. When you move into a bigger stage like that and you perform the way they performed, for me, it's the surprise team in the round of 16. I'm seeing them performing so well. It's a team that, other than surprising themselves,
yes,
other than surprising the fans, I'm sure even they have surprised their own coach, because it is a team that was not expected to proceed. So for me, that will be a match to watch. Leverkusen against Arsenal, that was another nutcracker. Germans are normally very stubborn, more so when it comes to knockout stages. I'm also expecting fireworks in that encounter. So for me, the two matches are going to be very instrumental, both for the teams in terms of the league. That match against Leverkusen will dictate what happens to Arsenal, because crumpling. There's a time Bayern Leverkusen, I think, the very Bayern Leverkusen, lost the league title within 12 days. They had lost the league title, the German Cup, and the Champions League, and they were doing so well. So the Champions League normally gives you an indicator of how things will pan out towards the end of the season. So that match for Arsenal will be a decider.
To you, Lawrence, kabla nimalize na...
I think an interesting fixture here, I'm thinking about Chelsea and PSG. Yeah, that's a good fixture. I think Chelsea, they have something to prove against PSG, but PSG on their current form also have been a really good side. So I really like to see how that match goes on, because the one for Arsenal, it's a straight way. Arsenal will win. Real Madrid and Man City, that's the final before the finals. So we expect Man City to be out as usual, because Real Madrid knows how to play the Champions League. So I really want to see how PSG and Chelsea goes. Yeah, that's a very unpredictable.
That game, Leverkusen and Arsenal.
You know, what I hate about this is Arsenal play Leverkusen, Man City play Real Madrid. After that game, we go to the EPL Cup final, where Arsenal play Man City.
Yeah.
And then we play the return fixture of City Real Madrid. Then we go back to Arsenal and we face City. So the problem I have is the loading on our team will be very high. I mean, Real Madrid season in, season out, to Lemea. And with the kind of squad that we have at City right now, we're not very strong mentally. We're depending on Ryan Chaki to create chances. Haaland is injured, by the way, he's out injured. I don't know if he'll be clear by 10th. So if you look at the pathway for Arsenal, I think they meet Barcelona in the semi-final. If you look at us, we have Real Madrid, there's PSG, Chelsea, there's Bayern, Munich, there's Liverpool, Galatasaray. Like, our side is way, it's harder. And I don't know why they do this to us every season. It's so hard. it's very hard. But do I foresee a situation where Kylian Mbappe just tells us, Piteni too? No. I don't see it. But do I see a situation where in the first leg we get some good goals? Yes. Second leg, no, to Lemea Sana, they pull a big comeback, nini. But I think this game, Man City versus Real Madrid, will be won in the defense. If we defend better, we'll beat them. But with the kind of pace that is there,
Kizungu Mkuti.
Itakambaya.
Let's come back to the country right now. Harambee Starlets travel to Ivory Coast. They're having friendlies. They're scheduled to play 2 friendlies. Beldin ali kikosi chake, which I believe and wish Harambee Stars all the best. But right now, before I come to you, Arocho, in preparation to Harambee Starlets and the WAFCON, let's listen what the captain of Harambee Starlets had to say.
Iko tu sawa. Sisi pia unajua sasa hii football ni fani, hakuna underdogs. Hii group iko tu sawa, unaelewa? Sisi Algeria tumecheza nao friendly, Morocco pia tumecheza nao friendly. So sisi hii tunajua, nao pia watajua sisi pia si wa rahisi. Sisi tunaenda pale tunaenda kupambana 90 minutes ndio itaamua. Hizi mambo zingine group ya nini hapana. Naweza sema hii sasa ndio nilikuwa nangoja, last nilikosa. Nitapia na kitu yote nenye niko nao kwa ground ndio baadaye ni regret. So hii sasa ndio tani yangu. Ndio kama World Cup qualification, understand. So sisi tuko ready. Na sisi by the way tutaonyesha maajabu.
Maandalizi at least maandalizi ilikuwa mapema. Inaonyesha at least tutapata kitu kwa hii tournament yetu kwa sababu tumeingia kama mapema
katika FIFA window. Lakini itakuwa ni matayarisho nzuri sana kwetu. kuweza kuona vile timu iko sofa. Alafu tunashukuru tuko na kamp ya France tutasaidia sasa kufanya marekebisho tukienda kucheza kwa muda. Tumekuwa tukiwaleta polepole kama bench, tumekuwa tukileta wachezaji wale youth players polepole kwa system. Kwa hivyo saizi ni kuzoeana tu, na najua by the time tunamaliza kampi yetu ya France watakuwa wameshikana zaidi.
A quick one. Let's talk about Harambee Starlets and the squad that Building has given out, and their friendlies coming and their preparation. WAFCON.
Well, this time around, I'm not going to be. I'll not criticize. I've been quite critical about the national team, even when they were playing, I think, Tunisia in the qualifiers. I really came out very strong and gave out my views, which was somehow contradicting what the coach had already done. We went for the second leg, won. I was critical in the first leg when we didn't score a goal. It was a goalless draw. Then we went away and picked a win. So this time around, I think the coach has got it right. I believe that the ladies are ready for the event. It's good that they're going for a very good friendly in Côte d'Ivoire before they move to France for their camp, and then ultimately moving to Morocco. All the best to our ladies. I think this is a very good platform for the ladies to showcase their talent. Monaisha is saying it quite well that she did play in the previous time we featured in the AUCON. This is her time to show her prowess. So all the best. The preparation has been done. There's no excuse this time round. The coach has been given the free hand to bring in whoever she feels deserves to be in that team. We are having a very good friendly in the Côte d'Ivoire match. Then we are going to relax and prepare well in France, more or less the kind of weather that we expect in Morocco. So I couldn't excuse. The government has done their part. The federation have done their part. Now it's upon the ladies to perform.
Annette, let's talk about Harambee Stars, Tiki and then Lawrence.
My issue has always been there's a lot of uncertainty around WAFCON. There's been rumors of postponement. Also, CAF is not investing in WAFCON as it did in AFCON in terms of marketing, in terms of ticketing, in terms of even the Moroccan government, how they did, how they pre-released videos for stadiums, announcements. This our pigile hype yenye walipiga na AFCON. So I'm wondering, why is there a rumor that there's going to be a postponement? I mean, our girls have traveled to Côte d'Ivoire, then they're going to France, but there's still so much uncertainty. Even Mosepe mwenyewe hajakuja akaongelea story ya WAFCON. He even avoided it in the interviews. So I don't know if there's going to be a postponement. I don't know why there's not as much investment going into the tournament. And then for us as Kenya going there after a 9-year drought, I mean, it's a big thing. And even the fact that there was also a doubt in terms of the pre-season, whether the girls are leaving, and the government has stood out and said, wanaenda na wanaenda. So I think they'll be prepared, as we've heard the captain saying, waliingia camp mapema. So they've been, their level of preparedness is good. And also going to France for the weather. Fantastic. I think we're going to be ready. Also, we faced some of those teams in friendlies, and we were not badly off. By the way, we came up and we came out strong. Like hakuna underdogs. Tukienda hapo, you'd be surprised that we come out of the group stages.
Let me answer before he comes in. I think the kind of marketing around this tournament has been affected by what happened in the finals of AFCON. Morocco felt that they were disadvantaged, which for me is neither here or there. Ni kama wana goma, they don't want, you know, there was a statement made by the minister that they were not going to host. Then the assistant minister came back again and said no, it was taken out of context. Basically Morocco wanajaribu kususa kwa lugha ya Kiswahili. So hiyo itakuwa yao. Sisi we are ready. Kuna advertisement, kuna media, kuna nini, tutafunga mtu.
There is.
I think the Harambee Starlets have really prepared well for this tournament because just like my colleagues have said, they were in camp very early enough, more than a month ago. So these are something that they've been working on, and then their qualifier process, it has not been easy. So I think this group of death, we might end up being the best out of the group of death, because playing against Senegal, Morocco and Algeria, it's not easy, but I'm very positive that Beldin's girls will do well, and they're really focused on being the best.
Just to add on there, I think the president needs also to do something.
Yeah.
Where he needs to give a very big promise, the way he did to the men before they take their first match. So I believe and I prepare tuna hizo milioni zake. He's going to promise. Yeah. And then somebody should be there with this cash in Morocco, so that wanashinda wanakatiwa keki.
Looking at the fixture, actually, they only have 3 days apart. 17th, they are playing Morocco versus Kenya. 20th, Senegal and Algeria on the 23rd. But I believe Beldin and the girls, vile dada amesema, hakuna mraisi, hakuna mnyonge. All right. All the best to Harambee Starlets and Coach Beldin. Now let's come back home, and starting off with yesterday's game at the Nyayo National Stadium. High five to Chingwe. Arocho, wacha nianze na what happened? I was with you when the game started. Na ukasema mmekujia points zenyu. The points they took at Estadio de la Gusio. What happened?
Well, unfortunately, the team lost. You know, football is a game of goals.
5-1.
I 5-1.
But I think we also need to talk about the security preparedness of that match. There were a lot of chaos. There were a lot of tear gas thrown in that stadium. And I want to plead. This time around, I'm not being hard on our security apparatus. I need to plead to our policemen. I think Hussein Mohamed, the president of Football Kenya, and the security apparatus in this country, we need to train our policemen on how to handle chaos in the stadium. Surely, in this day, age and time, we cannot throw tear gas in the stadium. You saw what happened in Morocco. There was a lot of uncertainty. There was a lot of chaos, but we never saw tear gas thrown in a stadium. I was so disappointed when I saw pictures from Nyayo, because I was in the studio on Radio 47 doing the commentary. But what happened in the stadium is unacceptable. I'm not going to support any of the two teams because these two teams, they are not security experts. The security experts in these countries are the police. And yesterday, I think they deployed the RDU for this match, which went off. They threw a lot of tear gas in the stadium. There was a lot of chaos. And for me, I might use that as an excuse. Shabana players they're not used to tear gas. So when the second goal went in, tear gas came. The third goal came in, the fourth goal. You know, in a span of around 10 or 15 minutes, Shabana had conceded 4 goals. So basically, I'm not trying to use that as an excuse, but I'm trying to show you that, guys, please, 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 we are hosting AFCON in less than a year or so. If this is how we are going to behave in the stadium in terms of security, then we are going to get a lot of fines, and we are going to embarrass not only our country, but the entire continent. Jamani, the police officers who are going to handle our matches should be trained on how
train them now.
We need to train them now.
Not train them
because I don't know if we're having those pictures of how the chaos were there. Surely, Jamani, we cannot continue the way we have been doing things for the last 15 years and expect to excel. So once again, congratulations and good job, FC Leopards. But Mimi, this one, security apparatus in the stadium, musiende na tear gas.
Well, thank you so much, Papa Fred Arocho. Before I come to you, Aneta Sher, let's listen what Coach Fred Ambani had to say yesterday after their win against Shabana.
You know they need to show you.
We want to work hard, and God has given us this result. We thank God for the result.
Fine, I didn't expect the 5 goals, but I expected something close to that. Because we've been training all over, day in, day out, for at least to make goals count, because that's been our undoing. We've been creating chances with not scoring, but at least been working on it, and thank God today it came in, and the players really made the fans happy. I'm happy for that.
We finished the game without injury, and then congratulate FC Leopard. They had a good display. They managed to utilize their chances. We had our chances in the first minutes, So I believe if we could have used our chances, the game could have gone another way. But it's only that we didn't utilize our chances. We created more chances. Then I believe in the defense line, we gave them big space. We have conceded like 2 goals through open play, so through passes. So we opened up our defense, and that's how they managed to beat us.
We planned, it's something we've trained for a while. We've been training on it. And we realized that Shabana is a good team, equally is a equally good team. But the only thing we knew, we will only punish them in counter-attacks. Huh? And that's what we trained more before we came for the match.
To you, Mr. Netwashe, do you agree with Arucho? Shabana wajazoea tear gas.
Yeah, probably it messed up with the mental of the player. It's like if you go to a place and you're supposed to deliver something, then in the process of going there, simu yako ilibiwa. It changes the dynamic of everything. Yeah. But other than that, FC Leopards scored very nice goals. I think they've been doing a lot of training in open play goals. If you look at the first goal that was scored, it was a combination of Kinyanjui and the Ugandan playing very good football. Tyson Otieno, Austin's brother, is at the heart of the midfield, creating chances, scoring goals. Saijie yake iko juu sana. Napiga di outfoot. So I think Fred Ambani has found his players and he's found the sequence. I mean, the goals that are being scored. If you look at the combination plays between Kinyanjui, Tyson, and now I can't say his name, Sesinyonjo, something like that. They are playing very good football. Like I even don't know how KCB were able to get a goal against FC Leopards because wanacheza ball poa sana.
Moving on to the next one, to Lawrence, let's talk about Kogalu. They're coming in hot, but they beat Mathare 2-1 on Saturday, 28th. The streets of Nairobi hazikuwa zinapitika on Saturday jioni.
Yeah. I think Gor Mahia, they know to win a league. That's something they have really worked on for a long time, and that's why I think maybe I wanted to add something about FC Leopards. They should win the crucial matches, and then if they should win the crucial match and never lose some matches. Like if they could have won against KCB, this was a positive result for them. That's what Gor is doing. When you just lose a crucial match, Gor wins the match and opens up the gap. So I think Gor has been up there for a very long time. They know how to win trophy. They know how to play matches under pressure. So that's what they're doing now. When they faced Mathare, they knew they have to open the gap between them and FC Leopards so that they can win this trophy, because I think they're the biggest team in Kenya. I'm a big supporter of Gor Mahia.
Yeah. So that's why. But before I come to you, Fred Arocho, let's listen what to Coach had to say about their win against Mathare United on Saturday.
Kitu ya kwanza nasema despite the fact that maybe tumepoteza mechi, ni kwamba at some point mpaka dakika 60 tumekuwa na character mzuri, and especially playing kucheza na timu ambao kidogo the last match walicheza against KCB, so wamekuwa na all the time to prepare kwa hii mechi. Then pia kidogo ukiangalia mechi yenyewe, ukiangalia mechi yenyewe kuanzia dakika 60 tulianza slow down, sababu of course tumetoka another tiring game, na nadhania makosa yenye inafanya tu consider hizo mabao, both goals ni individual errors na individual mistakes. Zingine I don't think ni kitu ati coach unaweza coach. Zingine ni errors ambao mchezaji atarekebisha na experience. The more ana experience those kind of situation, the more anarekebisha makosa zake. But overall I think tume give a good account of ourselves, but ile kitu ambao inanihuzunisha ni kwamba ni kama tuna donate pia alama.
It was a very tough game. First of all, I have to talk about the opponent. I was really impressed the way they played. A good tactical play from the coach. Very deep thought about how to go about it. And we somehow managed to come out of it, especially in the second half. In the first half, we also created chances, but of course, when we brought in Ebenezer and Paul and Brighton, gave us a lot of options to score. And of course, the aggression in which we play was there, and so it gave us a lot of opportunities to score goals, and we were happy at least out of the 90 minutes we were able to score.
That was Charles Okono, Gor Mahia's coach. Now, Arocho, slightly, let's talk about Gor Mahia. win against Mathare. That was a very slight win without the penalty kidogo. Let's talk about that match.
Well, for me, a win is a win, though it's a bit scary that they conceded a goal 8 minutes to time. Mathare has not been a very easy opponent for Gor Mahia. When you look at the history of the two teams, whenever Mathare is playing Gor Mahia, then there's a lot of uncertainty in terms of who will win. But once again, good job. Soccer, like any other game, is about winning. These other things, for me, they come as sideshows. The real thing is when you win your points. Gor Mahia are so strong mentally, if you ask me. I've watched Gor play against Muranga Seal. Gor were down 2-0. They came and won that match. I was at their match against Bidco. Gor were down, came back and won. So basically, it tells you that mentally they're very strong. Unlike many teams in this league, where once they concede a goal, they tend to absorb that pressure and they cannot come out and perhaps equalize or even win. So once again, kudos, and I believe that this league is for Gor Mahia to lose. If in any case they lose, they'll blame themselves. They cannot blame any other person, because other than Homeboys, who can give them a very good challenge, other than Shabana, who can also give very good challenge, FC Leopard is also going to give very good challenge in the second leg. I'm not seeing any other team. I thought KCB could give Gor Mahia some resistance. You saw they ran over KCB. So the three teams that I've now mentioned, that is Homeboys, very good team. I'm also seeing some resurgence from Tusker. They won their match against mid through the week. I think this is the second match of the new coach. He's won one match. I believe they're playing Homeboys very soon. Yes. That is, for me, going to be a test for the new coach at Tusker. So the resurgence at Tusker is also worth being mentioned. But once again, my team Shabana, we lost. But I believe that all is well. We'll get back our groove and perform better in the next matches.
Before we come to Tusker and Bandari, and let's remind you the question of the day: should Mikel Arteta remain at Arsenal if they fail to win the English Premier League this season? Keep on sending your comments on Facebook at TV47 Kenya, X TV47 Digital, Instagram at TV47 Kenya, and of course WhatsApp 0793267279.
Katila.
Let's read some of the feedback. Arocho, let me start with Sammy K. Brown before I come to you. Yes, he's a good coach, motivating other coaches to push for a trophy. So the mission is to be motivated. How about Sonis? No, if they can't win it. Arocho, some from your side?
Yes, there are a lot of feedbacks on the Facebook side, Instagram, and X. Someone is saying here, Engineer Lazaro Kanyambok, saying that Michael Arteta mysterious masterclass killing opponents with Tumbo Joto. Arteta is in Arsenal to stay. Arsenal known to be coached by Arteta. And Asema Arocho, we are watching the show. We are very glad. And Ajita Tom Kelvin Ananda. Ananda is saying that Arsenal is going to win the league, so there's no reason for us to be discussing what we are discussing.
Thank you so much, Fred Arocho. Let's see some of the feedback still on Facebook. I can say Yeshoke Isa says he should replace Pep at Etihad if Pep win and decide to leave. Wow. Wow, wow. Jeremiah Adoyo says he should remain so that he continues to bottle every season, I say.
6 years.
Let's see some of the feedback, the WhatsApp peer on the people have shared right now this morning. 0793267279.
Ni Manu original kutoka hapa Jordan, Bungoma County, shabiki sugu wa Arsenal. Should Arteta remain or leave Arsenal in case he doesn't win the EPL? I say yes. Arteta has to leave kama hatachukua ligi msimu huu. Kwa sababu for the last 5 seasons Arsenal tumekuwa hatuna depth, na kwa sasa Arsenal tuko na depth. Squad A, squad B, mpaka team C tuko nayo. Arteta hana sababu yoyote ya kujitetea ya Arsenal kutochukua ligi msimu huu, na he's one of the longest serving managers pale Arsenal. You cannot be one of the longest serving managers pale Arsenal kama kuna hata ligi moja. Arteta, tafadhali msimu huu kama uchukui, sina sababu ya kukutetea kubaki ama kutoka pale Arsenal. You have to leave kama uchukui ligi.
Ni Engineer Steven Mweresa hapa, shabiki sugu wa Manchester United. Now to your question, mlikuwa mmeuliza kama Arteta akipoteza EPL abakie ama aende. Mimi nasema aende kwa sababu ukiangalia for the past 5 seasons Arteta amenyesha potential ya kushinda EPL title. Lakini kuna mchezo mwingine naingia mahali anaanza kuchanganya ma players, anaacha ma players wale wenye wanaweza score, wale wenye wanaweza peleka timu mbele, wanabakia kwenye bench. So mimi chenye nasema asikuwe na excuse ya kusema hii pia ataachilia iende na City ama iende na timu nyingine. Akona wachezaji wazuri, akona good time to train, lakini kushinda title is where he draws the line. So ya this time akishindwa, mimi naona tu waende kwa sababu mashabiki wa Arsenal ndio wanaumia.
Thank you so much for the feedbacks. Watu wa Arsenal wanakasirika sana, but wacha tuombe that this league might be their season. Aracho, tukimalizia mbio mbio, do you think wewe kama coach unaweza taka aende?
Well, it depends on which side I'm standing. As a Manchester United sympathizer, I really want him to stay so that azidi tu kufanya mambo yake.
Thank you.
But from an Arsenal side, I think atakuwa amefika peak. It will be his peak, and he might not really give good account of himself if akiendelea. But allow me to read a text from Nyakach. Morning, bro. We are watching the show from Nyakach. This is June, Chelsea, Roslyn, and my mother. Anasema nice day. That is my mother and my father in Nyakach. They're watching the show.
Thank you so much, Fred Aracho. Thank you so much, Miss Washira and Lawrence Omondi. I believe hii season ni yenyu pia, tutapata na wewe to celebrate pamoja.
Lazima.
It has been Monday Blitz. Thank you so much. I am Katela Macy. See you next Monday.